Hi everyone, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's Weekly Horoscope. My name is Terence Gardino. The week begins on Monday, March the 4th, and this is a very powerful week of a lot of shifting energies. The highlights: there's a new moon on Wednesday. At the same time, liberating, rebellious, innovative Uranus re-enters Taurus and will remain now until 2026. And Mercury goes retrograde on Tuesday, the 5th, and remains retrograde until March the 28th. So like I said, a very important week of a lot of shifting energies. So therefore, it's best to observe, to reflect, to do your due diligence, ask for other people's opinions. This is not a good week to be launching new projects, starting new jobs, etc. Now, on Monday, the moon is still in intellectual, innovative Aquarius, but Mercury, communication Mercury, is now what we call stationary. It's not, as viewed through the telescope, it's no longer moving backwards, or it's no longer moving forwards. It's stationary, which makes the mind, our thoughts, our decisions are very intense and focused, almost laser focused. But it's about to go retrograde, meaning it's time to look within and rethink and revise and retool. So you might be feeling a lot of urgency. A lot of ideas could be swimming around in your head on Monday, especially with the moon in Aquarius. But this is no time to be making very important life-changing decisions, or certainly any important decisions involving, relationships, your career, because the next day it starts to move backwards, or the Mercury starts to become more internalized to reflect on what has been going on since the last time Mercury was retrograde, and before lining up our ducks, reassessing everything and moving forwards again after March the 28th. Then on Wednesday, the 6th, the planet Uranus, liberating, innovative Uranus, has an 84-year cycle through all the signs. And in May of 2018, it finally went into Taurus. Taurus is is more business, economic kind of energies overall. Now, the Uranus retrograded out of Taurus in October, and to kind of tie up loose ends as it went back into Aries until March the 6th. Now it's back into Taurus and will remain there for 7 years. So how Uranus and Taurus overall politically, or it's more about a lot of changes in economics. That's more of the Taurus, or more stable business structures, or we going through a lot of big change or innovation. It just depends on how Taurus, where Taurus is in your chart, that's where things are really going to be breaking free, breaking through, or shaking you up to be able to move in a new path. But this is a long process. However, having it this week, you're definitely going to be sensing some kind of big internal shift. And there might be some major external shifts that we're seeing in the international news. But also, on Wednesday, the 6th, is the new moon. So we have a new moon every 4 weeks. This new moon is in Pisces, And this begins a whole new focus of energy. But this new moon is also, it's in Pisces, and it's aligned with Neptune. Neptune's the natural ruler of Pisces. So this Neptune, this strong Neptune influence with this new direction can be imaginative and dreamy and compassionate, all in the good stuff. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of good things, but you have to be careful with Mercury in retrograde in Pisces, and now the new moon in Pisces aligned with nebulous Neptune, that there can be a lot of tendencies to be unrealistic, to be into fantasy. Great for the imagination, but you might even be a bit deluded. And so you need to have your dreams, but get second opinions, sit with it, reflect on it, which is what you should be doing anyhow during the Mercury in retrograde. By late Friday into Saturday, now the sun is shining positively on grounded Saturn. So now we're starting to get more focused, more grounded, more realistic, so we can start taking all of these fantasies and dreams and channeling it in a more realistic direction. Except with Mercury in retrograde, it's still time, you still need to be taking things slow and getting different points of view. And then that's strong through Saturday. By Sunday, now enterprising, ambitious Mars is going to be favorable for Neptune. Now this is very favorable for healing, for spiritual work, for volunteering, helping those less fortunate. Can also be, in other ways, this can be a favorable day for dancing, for swimming. You see, it's all this muscular energy of Mars is in harmony with this imaginative, musical Neptune in Pisces. But it's also all this self-sacrificing, healing energy that there's a lot of motivation. So by the weekend, we're going to start feeling more of the positive effects of the Pisces new moon, and we're also feeling this surge of new direction that the Uranus and Taurus is starting to, motivate and shake things up. Maybe the Mercury in retrograde in Pisces is just a time of time out, let's step back and re-look at where our life is going. What do we want out of life? What are all the possibilities? And starting to feel good about it by the weekend, but still taking your time. Now, before I sign off, I want to remind you that I'm available for the one question offer for a nominal fee. You'll find a direct link to order the request in the description box underneath the video. And if you and the time of birth is really important, even if you said, oh, my mother said it's around lunchtime. And if you could put the birth information and the time of birth in again with your question to me, it'll just make sure I have it accurate. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.